Donald Trump is clearly trying to court Hispanics and African-American voters, holding a series of meetings at Trump Tower on that issue, by the way. This is a Quinnipiac poll showing Hillary Clinton's lead with non-whites, 77% to 15%. Come on in, A.J. Delgado, who is a Trump campaign surrogate, Hispanic, and I have to ask you, you're a Trump supporter. How is he going to raise his score amongst Hispanics? Because it's not working so far, is it?
Actually, Stuart, it is pretty high. If you check the LA Times poll, the most recent one has him at 36%. That's already far higher than McCain receives, which was 31%, and that Mitt Romney receives his own 27%. So he's already doing incredibly well, especially as a Republican, with the Hispanic Latino vote. The way I think it will go even higher.
Hold on a second. You know, that's just one poll. I don't know what kind of poll it is. I don't know whether it's an online poll.
The LA Times poll.
Is it an online poll?
LA Times. I'd have to double check if it's an online poll. I don't believe it is.
And you say he's got 36% Hispanic support?
Yes, sir.
Can you show any other poll where he's got any degree of Hispanic support at all?
Well, there's some, for instance, the NBC poll that shows him in the 20s. When you look at the actual demographics of that poll and who they actually polled, they tend to oversample and overpoll Democrats. In the polls that are more evenly distributed and have a much more representative sample, we tend to get a more accurate assessment, such as the LA Times one. So I do believe even if the LA Times one might be a bit high, I believe he's currently somewhere in the low 30s. I know every Latino, Hispanic I speak to in my community is certainly on the Trump train 100%.
Okay, why is that? I mean, he's not gone away from there to build that wall, and although he's backtracked a fraction on immigration and the deportation of everybody, he's still got a very harsh stand on most of you have got to go home. So why would you support Donald Trump?
Right, but Stuart, you're basing that on the premise that immigration is Latinos' top concern. It absolutely is not. In fact, every single poll and study routinely for years has shown that, on the contrary, it's not immigration, it's jobs in the economy. So if jobs in the economy are our main concern, and it absolutely is, who else would we vote for but Donald Trump?
I understand, and you're absolutely right. I mean, the economy is of vital importance to every single group in America. But there's also the question of tone. When you start talking about get them out of here and the Mexican rapists, I mean, you don't get support using language like that with that tone of voice, do you?
Well, number one, he never called Mexican rapists, not even close. And number two, Latinos, Hispanics, we tend to be anti-illegal immigration. And I'll tell you why. It hurts our communities. It's illegal immigration that takes away jobs from our communities and that lowers our wages. So if you're pro-Latino, if you're a Latino voter like me who cares about your fellow Latinos and the community, you're wary of illegal immigration and you like what Trump is saying.
Okay. I'm going to have to leave it there. I've got a very busy news day, and I do apologize for that. But look, thanks very much for joining us.
Stuart.
Come and fill us in on future polls. I want to hear it. Thank you very much indeed.
Okay, will do. Thanks for having me.